Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. This time we're doing our full review breakdown of our brand new 2021 BMW S1000rr. Now, what I'm going to do in this video, guys, is break down pretty much everything from the engine, how the engine's performing, how the handling is, if it's comfortable or not. We'll go through a bit about the different modes on this amazing machine, and what it's like to live with. You know, coming from my 2019 Triumph Speed Triple RS that I really did love. Didn't have it for very long if you've been following the channel, but yeah, it's been an interesting road to get here, at least. It's been a little bit of a, I wouldn't say frustrating road to get here. I had to wait a little while for this bike, but I can say that it is worth every single minute that I waited and every dollar that I paid for this bike. I'm going to start with the price here in Australia. So I've got the sport model. So I believe that there is a standard model below this, but no one orders that bike. It's pretty standard. It doesn't have the electronic suspension and you know, all the riding modes and stuff like that. So it's not a very you know, it's not actually a bike that I would choose. But so this is the sport, and then there's a race, and also the M package, which you get the full M paint scheme. You get the carbon wheels, you get the lighter battery, and you get an M seat. So they're the differences between this one and the M. So here in Australia, the Sport comes with obviously all the riding modes, has the Riding Mode Pro modes, has electronic suspension, if you can see there, which, mind you, works amazingly well. You know, heated grips is standard, cruise control is standard, launch control is standard, pit lane limiter is standard. So it's got everything you can possibly imagine, this bike. It's pretty much like an M car. It's ridiculous. I can't tell you how the technology on this thing is just, it's got an up and down quick shifter, which is silky smooth. I'm going to say this, way better than the Triumph quick shifter, and I had to pay for that quick shifter, which this one came standard. But again, I believe the new Speed Triple that's coming out will be amazing and has all those options as standard. But yeah, so starting with the engine, guys. So I mean, you probably watched other reviews on this bike, and you know, everyone has said that how good this engine is, and it's amazing. I mean, I'm still in my break-in period, so I can't really go over 8,000 RPM, so I can't really show you what this bike is really capable of, but I'm sure you've seen other videos that outline just how quick this bike is. And yeah, it's just, the engine is so smooth, and that's the other thing, like, it just feels, I mean, the Triumph that I had was also really smooth, but this is even smoother. This is just another level. It's really amazing, the engine. I really can't, I mean, I haven't had the bike that long, and obviously still in the break-in period, so I can't really tell you exactly from my experience what it's like, but my first impressions is it's amazing. Like, it feels so strong. I believe here in Australia we don't really have, these are European spec bikes, so there's none of that real flat spot like the US model, which I've heard is very frustrating. It definitely doesn't feel like there's any flat spot at anything that I've sort of witnessed so far, like down low. Feels really, really strong. So yeah, and just the character of this bike is just amazing. Like the bangs and pops and of the exhaust on the when you change through the gears, and when you're off the throttle you get a nice little bang if you're in the right RPM. You know, all those things really make this bike just have a little bit of character. And for an inline 4, you know, majority of the other bikes in this category that are inline 4, you know, I've heard sometimes can be a bit boring. I don't know if it's coming across, but you can just hear that little pop and crackle on the exhaust. It's just amazing. This bike is fairly quiet with the stock can on it. As soon as I am done with the 1,000 kilometers, I am going to get the full exhaust system, which is going to be super, super exciting. I'm going to go with the shorty sort of can, Aquapovic can, I think, or SC Project with the Aquapovic headers. So stay tuned for that, guys. That's going to be super exciting. I'm going to walk you through everything from the install and also the first ride of that exhaust, and how I'm getting along with that. I've got a few other plans for the bike as well. Just getting off topic a bit, I've got some carbon bits that I'm going to install on the bike through BMW. I might change these levers, don't know yet. They're fairly nice, but I think I'll go with there's some M model ones that I quite like. Yeah, so the engine, guys, I give this a 10 out of 10, basically. I think this is just ridiculous. It's way more than you need for the street. But you know, I've had this argument before with people, is that yes, this is 200 horsepower, and yes, I said my speed triple felt like it was not underpowered, but it was missing something in the engine. I believe the new speed triple is going to be amazing and will be a lot stronger. But you know, you can actually feel the power of this bike. Yes, you know, you're not doing stupid speeds all the time, but it's nice to feel that strength is there. But yeah, amazing. We're going to get on to the next topic now. Is we're going to talk about is probably my favorite part of this bike so far, is the handling. Now, far out. The handling on this bike is ridiculous. I mean, this is one of the reasons why I changed from a naked bike, being the Speed Triple, and I wanted to get a sport bike, was how much better is the handling. And you really notice it. Obviously, this is a track-focused bike, so of course the handling is going to feel different. Let's get on. You know, the handling just feels so committed, and it's not uncomfortable. Like, and I sat on obviously the V4 Panigale, which I was, to be honest, I really wasn't ever that close on getting that bike. I was always had my heart set on this, but I had to, obviously paying this amount of money, you have to check out everything and all the options. But that riding position for me what I want in a bike, and I'm, you know, 90%, 95% of my riding is going to be on the street. It's not going to be on the track. I am going to get into a few track days, but it's not something that, you know, I purely am only taking to the track. And if I probably, you know, I don't think it would have changed my decision on getting this bike, even if that was the case. But this is just such a good all-round bike that I really just couldn't say no. Like, it's so good on the street. It's got everything you could ever want. It's so good on the track. You know, it's really, I think, the best all-round bike you can get. You know, yes, it's not a touring bike. It's not a naked, comfortable, upright bike. You know, your pegs are a bit higher, and you are, you know, on your wrist quite a bit, but nowhere near compared to the other bikes in this category. Like, nowhere near. It's actually, I feel like I could ride this bike for a long period of time and not be in pain. That's for sure. I'm gonna be doing a couple of big rides actually coming up soon. Down to Wollongong, which is a couple of hours away from where I am in Sydney. So that'll be really a good test to see how it does actually stack up and how comfortable it feels. But yeah, back to sort of the handling. It just feels super light, super flickable. I don't think personally I would have noticed much if I got the carbon wheels. I know it saves a little bit of weight, and I have heard it probably would make a difference if I was tracking it. But for me, you know, it didn't really matter, and I love this paint scheme on this bike. It's just amazing. This Hockenheim silver. It doesn't come out in camera as well as it does in person. It just, yeah, it looks amazing, and I super stoked when I first saw it. We'll do a bit of a walk around as well for you. I know I did the last video and was a big walk around, but I'll do another one. Alright, so next subject that I want to talk about, obviously I want to talk about some of the modes and the technology on this bike. So I did mention before, you know, this one's got the Riding Pro modes. I think that's what it's called, Rider Pro modes, something like that. Anyways, you get 3 of them, and you can basically dial in exactly how you want the bike to perform. You've got how the engine response is, the throttle, you've got the engine braking, you've got your traction control, you've got your wheelie control. It's got yeah, it's you know, it'd take you hours I think to go through it all. I'm still learning. I only just connected my phone to this damn dash. It's crazy. Took me a while, but yeah, there's so much you can dial in on this bike. And yeah, it's so strong, this engine. I really can't explain how good it is. It feels amazing. Yeah, so back to the riding modes, guys. Yeah, so you've got obviously your normal modes. I'm in road at the moment. It's got a rain mode, it's got dynamic, and it's got a race mode, and then your Riding Pro modes. So yeah, heaps of different options, which I haven't even touched yet. Really, I've only really left it in road and dynamic. I feel dynamic's probably the best mode. Let's actually pop it in dynamic now. There we go. And I think the dynamic mode, you know, I could be wrong here, but my impression of the dynamic mode is that the suspension actually adjusts a bit more. I think in the normal road mode it doesn't, where this one definitely feels like it adjusts to different riding surfaces and stuff like that. And the throttle seems to be a bit better in dynamic as well. But yeah, guys, this is just, I'm still kind of sort of blown away that I've actually I've actually got this bike now. It's hard to process. This is my dream bike. I always wanted one of these ever since I first started riding. You know, it's always been a dream of mine. Never thought I'd actually be able to do it, but yeah, I've worked hard and it's paid off, and yeah, and I can't be happier. Alright, so yeah, so getting back to the riding modes. So you've got obviously all the riding modes. You've got cruise control standard, you've got your heated grips. I haven't tried any of this out yet, but I'm sure it's amazing. You've got your electronic suspension. You've got what else have you got on this bike? It's got a launch control. I don't know if I'd ever use that, to be honest. That scares the crap out of me. Maybe one day I'll take it on the drag strip and see how it goes. What else? It's got pit lane limiter. If you're on the track, again, probably won't use it. It's nice to know it's got it though. And yeah, guys, that's about it. I think I haven't missed anything off, I don't think. Now getting on to the next part is the dash. I just want to talk about the dash. This dash, if you can see it, look, it's definitely the best in the business. It'll actually be interesting to see the new Triumph, actually. The Speed Triple, actually the new dash in that actually looks pretty damn nice as well. I'm so keen to ride that bike, just you know, just to see what it's like. But yeah, I think this is, at the moment, is the best dash in the business. I mean, you connect your phone, you can see my battery life, for God's sake, and you know, it's got how strong my connection is. You can somehow actually get it to bring up the speed, how, you know, the speed limit on the roads as well when your phone's connected. You can do sat nav, which is just ridiculous. And it's just so clear the dash, and it's so easy to sort of, with this wheel as well, it's so easy to navigate. It's just you know, you got a fuel gauge. You know, the RSV4 doesn't have a fuel gauge, and I don't think the Ducati did either, which is just blows my mind. When you pay that sort of money, you don't have a fuel gauge, which is just, I've had a bike that didn't have a fuel gauge, and to be honest, it's actually quite frustrating because, and it was a Ducati, my Ducati didn't have one. You know, it's got to feel light, but when you get on the bike, you want to know how much, if you're planning a ride, you want to know how much fuel is in the bike. You know, whether you need to, you know, stop and fill up, or not just wait for the light to come on and go and find a petrol station. You could be nowhere near one. But yeah, guys, it's, like I said, it's just the best dash I've ever seen. And yeah, there's still heaps to learn, but yeah, I'll work my way through it eventually. But yeah, guys, what a bike. So nice. That quick shifter is just the smoothest thing you will ever use. It's amazing. It's seamless. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And guys, also stay tuned. There's going to be heaps of videos on this bike. This bike's not going anywhere. And I'm going to be obviously doing I've got some plans for the bike. We've got some mods that I'm going to be doing. Obviously the exhaust will be first. So put down in your comments, guys, on what exhaust you think I should actually go for on this bike. That'd be much appreciated. I do want a loud bike. That's why I want to go for the Shorty Aquapovic. I know it is going to be crazy loud, but that's really what I want. Yeah, I mean, I love I love to hear those bangs and pops on the overrun, and yeah, I just that's just what I feel is the best route for me. I have heard that the longer can, you get a better performance out of it, but you know, that's marginal for me. I don't think it's really going to it's not going to be a big difference. It's not you know, 10-15 horsepower, it's a couple. So yeah guys, super keen on that. See you guys, stay tuned, thanks for watching, and also don't forget to subscribe, and I'm going to do a quick little walk around for you guys right now. Let me just jump over here. All right. All right. So here she is. What a bike, guys. Looks just amazing. Look at those lights. One of my favorite parts of this bike is those beautiful lights now, those LEDs. Actually looks really nice in this sun. You can really see the color. Hopefully it comes across on video. And this gold frame, oh, one of my favorite touches. So yeah guys, thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time. I'm gonna keep riding. See ya. Oh, look at this, cruise control. Cruise control on a superbike. How? Look at that. No hands, for God's sake. No hands. We won't do that though.